The Army is using TikTok tarts to recruit, Sam Smith accused of ruining an award show that's not the Grammys, and a brand new exclusive video every single week when you support The Habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. Newton's third law of motion states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I think this applies to fame as well. The more famous you get, there will be an equal and opposite reaction to that fame. The more people who love you, the more people will hate you. And it seems that MrBeast is finding that out firsthand. This seems impossible to me that you wouldn't know who he is, but let's go through the motions. MrBeast is the most subscribed to individual on YouTube. Over 131 million subscribers, 22.1 billion total views. 6 of his videos each have more views than my entire channel. But he's become the young Sheldon of YouTubers. According to every metric, it's incredibly popular, but you don't know a single person who actually admits to watching it. He's also branched out into other ventures, like his MrBeast burger business, which is extremely fitting because he already made junk food for the mind. There's no way you haven't seen the thumbnails. I ate the world's largest slice of pizza. World's most dangerous escape room. I spent 50 hours buried alive. Last to leave the circle wins $500,000. And of course, his most popular video, $456,000 Squid Game in real life. All including a photo of him, mouth and eyes wide open. If these were public billboards, there'd be dicks drawn all over them. Even his name is annoying. MrBeast. Does this guy look like a beast to you? When I first heard of this guy a few years back, I thought they were talking about LA Beast. That guy looks like a beast. MrBeast looks like he should be named Mr. 500 yards away from schools or playgrounds at all times. But he set things up so that any person who hates him looks like an asshole. You see, you can't hate MrBeast. He's a philanthropist. He gives away so much money. He helps people. Oh, what? You hate a guy who makes people's lives better? Lucky for me, everyone already knows I'm an asshole. And so, in a recent video, he helped 1,000 blind people see for the first time. The title and thumbnail are incredibly misleading. Again, 1,000 blind people see for the first time. No, he didn't cure anyone of childhood blindness or blindness from birth. He paid for 1,000 cataract surgeries, described in the video as a 10-minute procedure that could likely restore the eyesight of half of all blind people in the world. All of these people have in fact been able to see at some point in their lives, until their eyesight degenerated to this point. And, despite the thumbnail being this crying child, most of the participants are adults. Many of them appear to be over 40. So, the video is a montage of people having eye bandages removed, crying or going, "Oh wow, this is so much better," interspersed with Beastman handing people suitcases with $10,000 in it, because why not? What, now you hate a guy who fixed people's eyesight and gave them $10,000? What's wrong with you? Well, a lot, but yes, the reaction on social media to this video has been, let's say, mixed. And while some of it has been directed at MrBeast specifically, with people calling his content poverty porn, suggesting he's exploiting poor people for clicks, which, yeah, he kinda is. But more of the criticism has been about how he exposed a system that he clearly doesn't understand. They're not mad at MrBeast. They're mad that the United States is the most developed country in the world, and yet, there are people who live in it who need to hope some rich weirdo with a YouTube channel will come along and pay for their easily curable affliction. That's the criticism. No reasonable human being is actually like, "Fuck MrBeast for helping 1,000 people, what a piece of shit." But he himself tweets, "I don't understand why curable blindness is a thing. Why don't governments step in and help? Even if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint, it's hard to see how they don't ROI on taxes from people being able to work again." Yes, MrBeast, welcome to baby's first interaction with socialized medicine. The cynical version of it is, yes, it's in a country's best interest to keep its own population healthy so that they can continue to work and pay taxes into the system that pays that government's salaries. In fact, over 500,000 of these exact same treatments were performed in Canada last year. The people whose sight was restored paid nothing. They didn't have a guy with facial hair that screams, "I own a windowless van," handing them briefcases with $10,000 after. But those procedures didn't have to be filmed for YouTube for clicks and likes, and the doctors didn't need a montage of the patients all thanking them at the end. That's a thing in these MrBeast videos, and it's weird. In fact, since Canada's healthcare is tax-funded, as Americans are so quick to point out to me, you could say that I helped fund 500,000 people's cataract surgeries. You cured 1,000 people? I cured 500,000 people. Just last year. Maybe millions in my lifetime. Get on my fucking level, scrub. This is that old joke about how Breaking Bad's concept doesn't even make sense in other countries because Walt would just go to the doctor, get the cancer diagnosis, and start free treatment in a few days. He wouldn't need to cook and sell meth to pay for those treatments. In most other developed nations, they don't need YouTube Jimmy to show up with a big bag of money going, "How'd you like to be able to see again? Just sign this release form." But that's the reality in America. Gotta hope some rich guy's feeling charitable. Mark Cuban, owner of the Dallas Mavericks and one of the sharks on Shark Tank, created a company called Cost Plus Drugs, which allows people to get medication that they need at a severe discount. Got MS in the US? Apparently, medication costs $1,300 to $2,100 a bottle. Or you can buy it from this site for $12. That's really incredible that Mark Cuban set this up. It truly is. But if a drug can be sold for $12, why is it so expensive in the US? And why do Americans have to rely on one guy who owns a basketball team to save them? That is where the criticism comes from. And I think there's a very valid debate that comes from that. But it's clear this criticism bothers Beastie. After seeing some of the backlash, he also tweeted, "Twitter, rich people should help others with their money." This is in response, by the way, to all the shit that Elon takes as well, because MrBeast and Elon are now good pals. Me, okay, I'll use my money to help people, and I promise to give away all my money before I die, every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast bad. This is why those poverty porn criticisms seem so apt. If he was truly altruistic, he wouldn't care what anyone thinks of him. What difference does it make if someone like me thinks he gets an erection from the very idea that he gets to decide who can and can't see? My opinion shouldn't matter to him. But being rich isn't good enough. He needs to be loved, too. He posted this poll on Twitter, asking if people would vote for him to be president. He constantly posts stats from his videos because the number of people watching them matters to him. Around 1% of the population of the world watches every video we make. He posts bait like this. "I did not expect this video to do this well, shocked face emoji." So that people will praise him in the tweets because of course he knew it would do well. The irony, by the way, that these screenshots don't have any alt text, so actual blind people aren't able to know what's on them, is really funny. But he's constantly fishing for praise, wants you to know how many clicks he gets. It's important that you know how successful he is. But why is he shocked by the fact that people wouldn't like him, even though he's promised to give away all his money? People hate the rich, and this is a both sides thing. Elon Musk and Bill Gates have both claimed that they plan to give away their fortunes before they die or soon after, that it'll go to charities or whatever, rather than just to create more generational wealth. Too bad for Elon's various children named after algebra formulas or whatever, but they won't be Nepo billionaires. But the left hates Elon Musk, and the right hates Bill Gates. Maybe it's jealousy, maybe there are legitimate reasons to dislike these men, but either way, the price to pay for being rich and a public figure is you're disliked by some of the public. Again, Newton's third law of motion. Hell, not being rich but being a public figure, you gotta deal with people not liking you. I know. But, MrBeast, you have to be able to see why people think that you're a bit of a narcissist. Why your thumbnails make people want to punch their screens. Why making a parody of Squid Games while completely misunderstanding the idea of the show is absurd. Hey, you know that show that mocked capitalism, voyeurism, and the desperation of a poor society? Well, I'm gonna make a bunch of people do dumb shit on my YouTube channel for the chance to win money, slap ads on it, and get all the clicks. Dance for me, monkeys! And yes, you have to see why a YouTuber who sells burgers being the person 1,000 people had to rely on to get eye surgery is a little dystopian. And if you can't see this, maybe they should have scheduled 1001 procedures. Although, for MrBeast's vision issues, I think instead of an eye doctor, he needs to see a proctologist who can help him pull his head out of his ass.